Hi everyone and welcome to our video. My name is Toby and together with my colleagues Abel and Roman, we will introduce you to the concept of enterprise social network sites as one effective part of knowledge sharing within multinational corporations. First of all, we will give you an overview of what an enterprise social network site actually is. After that, we will discuss how one can motivate their employees to participate in such a project, and lastly, we will talk about a real-life example. Nowadays, social media sites like Facebook and Co. help us to move the world closer together. People from all over the earth are able to participate and contribute to those platforms. This technology enables us to connect with each other, share our experiences, and check what the world has been up to. We mainly use social media sites to communicate, support others or ask for support, and simply stay in touch with our friends and families. Since the concept is so simple and effective, and can easily be adapted to many different purposes, multinational corporations start to build their own social media platforms to benefit from its advantages. Those platforms are called Enterprise Social Network Sites, or ESNS. As you can imagine, the world has changed over the last decades, and everything is more globalist nowadays. This results in a wider geographical distribution of companies and a need for more networked processes to stay competitive. This change in the world results in new challenges for multinational corporations, such as sharing knowledge effectively, overcoming the communication barrier, and maintaining the company's performance. Using social media platforms correctly will help to deal with these problems. However, it is important to note that even though social media sites like Facebook and Co. and enterprise social network sites of large multinational corporations are based on the same technology, they differ fundamentally in terms of goals and their execution. While social network sites are based on general norms of society, an enterprise social network site incorporates the beliefs and values of a company and therefore might differ from common social media platforms. Furthermore, an enterprise social network site is open only to employees and the goals are work-related, namely sharing of knowledge over different locations and departments, whereas common social network sites are open to everyone and focus on interpersonal goals, such as maintaining personal relationships and entertainment. One great advantage of enterprise social network sites is that they combine visibility and association of content and people, but furthermore offer persistence and editability of the content. Common communication tools such as teleconferencing, instant messaging, and emails lack some of these characteristics, namely persistence and editability of the content, and are therefore limited when it comes to sharing knowledge sustainably. Alright, after pointing out what an enterprise social network site is and what purpose it serves, we will look at the motivation a company can offer so that employees contribute to such a platform and actually share their knowledge effectively over the whole company.
Before going deeper, we need to highlight the two kinds of motivation: extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. The interplay between this motivation influences the quality of knowledge sharing. First, let's focus on extrinsic motivation. This motivation comes from an indirect satisfaction of needs through financial rewards and incentives for past performance. Pushing extrinsic motivation is often seen as beneficial because it connects the employee's monetary motive to organizational goals. On the other hand, we have the intrinsic motivation. It is the commitment to the work itself with no apparent reward except the satisfaction of accomplishing the job. This motivation appears when an employee feels competent and valuable within the work environment. Intrinsic motivation also has an advantage over extrinsic motivation when it comes to activities that require creativity and learning. Both motivations are needed for an efficient knowledge transfer. There is a consensus among researchers that a strong willingness on behalf of knowledge receivers to absorb new knowledge increases the likelihood of successful knowledge transfer. In other words, an employee's lack of motivation translates a general reluctance to accept knowledge from other parts. One should remember that both kinds of motivation are interactive, not additive. However, you should be careful. In some situations, there might be a negative effect of introducing extrinsic rewards to an employee already motivated intrinsically. Indeed, it can provide the employee the impression that he is being controlled from the outside. In that situation, we talk about extrinsic motivation crowding out intrinsic motivation. There is a distinction between HRM practices that keep a person on a job and practices that motivate a person to perform more effectively on that job. When you try to keep a person on the job, you stimulate extrinsic motivation by satisfying the employee's needs. You can do so by setting an external reward system, which will be adaptive to performance. Indeed, rewards were found to have a positive effect on the absorptive capacity of a subsidiary employee. On the other hand, when you motivate a person to perform well, you stimulate intrinsic motivation by building emotional commitment to the job. It is a little trickier because, unlike setting a reward system, management cannot administer intrinsic motivation directly. Therefore, human resources should structure jobs in a way that gives employees opportunities to participate in the decision-making process of issues related to them. Furthermore, in multinational companies, you could support internal rotation between employees. It is challenging and provides self-actualization.
After all the theory, let's talk about a practical example, the enterprise system from Siemens, References Plus. References Plus connects two divisions of Siemens, Siemens Technologies and Siemens SmartGrip. They operate in over 70 countries and have 9,200 users. The participation is solely on voluntary basis. The goal is to list all suitable projects references, provide test solutions, and to make the core business knowledge together with their holders available to everyone in the whole company. What are these references? They are structured information sheets containing text, numbers, graphs. They can basically contain anything. Among other things, they describe customer projects, product and solution modules, services, internal processes, and their improvements. They enable everyone to share their experiences with projects, problems, how they dealt with them, and most important, what were the lessons learned dealing with their problems. Every user then can post feedback to the paper and rate it from 1 to 5 stars. Or, if there's a lot of feedback, a discussion forum about that topic will be opened. How did Siemens motivate its employees? The HR department of Siemens used extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. But before we explain you the different actions, let's take a look at the administrative side. In such a project, HR and IT have to work closely together and with the top management. The discussions and forums were moderated by a trained team, and the CEO and the CFO of both divisions regularly posted welcome messages to new users. After launch, Siemens wanted to flood the platform with knowledge and used extrinsic motivation. Therefore, they held contests where the person with the most posted references would win prizes. The prizes were handed out by the supervisor together with a certificate from the CEO, and the pictures were published on the website. Nowadays, the motivation changed to intrinsic actions only. They emphasized the added value through less work by first-hand knowledge, the desire to help and achieve visibility to problems, a strong community spirit where problems would be solved together, and the chance of networking with everyone on the platform. All of that makes a lot more fun than being overworked. Was References Plus a success story? In a survey of 2011, where 1,479 users shared their perceived time savings over the year, in total, 731 working days, 190,000 euros in cost savings, over 5 million of additional value through synergies, and 361 newly acquired customers were the answers. A survey of 2015 showed a time saving per employee of 0.7 working days a year. That might not sound much, but if we compare it to the 1,479 users in 2011, the number of saved work days would be over 1,000. Moreover, the actual numbers will be even higher, since the survey only questions a proportion of users. Thank you for watching our video. We hoped you liked it and gained some new insights.